Okay, so in the continuing efforts to use up material, go through those, I can't really see them, but the 9 bins of fabric I got stored over in the corner there. On the vinyl bin, did what I could for usable pieces for sale. I'm thinking, it being September now and heading towards spooky season, I'm going to try and make a hat. I've got enough pieces I could do a hat. Not a witch hat, but like a preacher style hat. A big wide brim hat if I can. Round top. I got this motorcycle seat vinyl, which didn't work out well double layered, but I've got this very distressed stretch vinyl here. I mean, it's ragged. So it'll look good for a costume piece. And I still got more of this brown vinyl, which is a bit of a stretch vinyl, so I can't really use it for stable pieces like that. So let's see if we can do a hat out of it. Looking at a couple different patterns I got, and we'll see what we come up with. This motorcycle seat vinyl, the odd shape, I cut it in half. I'm going to stitch the 2 pieces together here so I can make a reasonably sized circle for the brim of the hat. Figure, it'll be reasonably useful. Just overlap by 1/2 inch, stitch it on, and then I'll cut a circle out of it. Or an oval, if you will. Whatever works. I'll do that, which it's just a straight stitch, just line it up and do it. Then we'll work on the next step, which will be making the circle. So, got them stitched together. It's a rough line because this shit is terrible to work with. From the back, it's not bad. So, the bobbin stitching is on the face. But that's okay because this is probably going to be the bottom of the hat, just giving some rigidity to it. And I'm going to be using the distress stuff for the top to make it look a lot older than it is. So next step, we're going to have to make a circle. To do that, I'm going to measure the biggest distance I can in the shortest position. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to use a string and 2 pens like a compass. Draw it that way. I'll show you what I mean. As long as you can see most of that, should be okay. So you got a piece of string. There we go. Measure that. We can do an 18-inch circle, so we'll do 9. So lay that out. Get the string. We need a loop that's 9 inches. Starting from 0, there's 9. Tie a knot in it at the 9 inches, which I'm holding with my finger. And there we have a compass. So, see how accurate our circle can be. As a costume piece, I don't really care about accuracy that much, but, do the best I can with it. Oh, look at that, it's already gotten bigger. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. It ain't bad. Let's see if it is 18 inches or so. Yeah, it's 18 and a quarter. Not bad. Bigger than I thought it would be. So I'll cut that out, which I think is bigger than a cowboy hat. That'll be the basis to start our whole hat project. Bring it back when that's cut. Point of note, considering the difficulty I have with this material, I'm using my utility shears on this. I'm not wasting my sharp fabric scissors on it. Okay, so we have this massively distressed lighter vinyl, which is going to be the top of the brim of the hat. This motorcycle vinyl will be the bottom of the brim of the hat. Now I've marked off in the center how this hole is going to work. What we do is we cut this piece out. This edge and these lines are where they're going to be cut, and those will fold up into the hat. So what we're going to do now, rather than try and cut two pieces and match them up, we'll lay them flat, we'll pin them, and then we'll stitch this whole thing around, then cut the excess vinyl off on the edges. Then I'll cut the hole out, I'll stitch that down past that cutting edge, and then I will cut the splits into it, and then we'll make the top of the hat, which is going to be fun all on its own. Probably make it out of this, which it'll be a little more comfortable. Won't be pretty, but it's not supposed to be. It's probably going to be for a Halloween costume, but it'll be comfortable. So I'll get that done. Well, I'll get it stitched down. Then I'll show you what happens when I have to turn everything inside out. Okay, I got this all laid out. Let's see if it works, considering the problems I have with this material. And we're not going to backstitch because, well, it's going to overlap because it's in a circle. Let's keep it as flat as I can. But again, it being a costume piece, it doesn't really matter that much. If it looks messy and made, that could be a good thing. Imperfection can be useful, depending on context. In this context, yeah. Basically what we're making now looks like a donut or a toilet seat, but it's a little more than halfway, I think, or right around halfway. Odd seeing how things work out when I'm not using a pattern. I just have a rough idea to start with, see where it goes. Overlap this, and there is going to be a fold in the edge of it, but one material stretch, one material isn't, so that's expected. Where the hell did my cutter go? There it is. Ah. Now, let's get the scissors and cut this stuff. And find out what next step is. That's garbage. Might, depending on how much material is left, do a demi-cloak out of this remainder after I build the top of the hat. Also, might not. I don't know what it looks like and how it all goes together. Let's turn that up a bit so you can see. Just in the process of this, get the basics of making a hat, which isn't something I've done on the channel before. So hopefully this works out well. We got that far. Let's turn it inside out. See what this is going to look like. Don't make it an easy task. The whole thing through itself. There, we got a shape. At least we got the start of one. That's going to look absolutely ragged. So next up, we'll be folding this edge flat, stitching it down all the way around. That'll get it sit properly. After that, we'll work on the portion where we got to cut, which is these little lines here. Cut them back to that line. Then we'll know the dimensions we got to work with for the top of the hat, the dome. Once we got that, we can start building it. Okay. Probably talk to you next time. As expected, even working on the reverse, this motorcycle vinyl is a pain in the dick to work with, but the results speak for themselves. This will be the bottom of the brim of the hat. This will be the top visible portion, and it is ragged, distressed, looks ancient. So the next step, I'll be cutting these little lines in on the edge, measuring that out, and getting a dome built for this hat. Okay, I'll let you know when that's ready.